All right, I have no idea what happened. Maybe I'll change the... There we go. I'll do rugged new live stream. Rugged. Yeah, dude, I definitely got rugged. I don't know what the hell happened there, but we got rugged. I think we're good to go though. Let me change the chat overlay. All right. Rugged? There we go. Yep, we're still here. I don't know where I left off. I talked for about... Whoa. There we go. Yeah, I did talk for about, I don't know, 5 minutes without probably realizing you guys were... I was disconnected, so I don't know what happened there. You're talking about my comment with $150. Long story short, I'm mostly getting it because I do want to... I think it'd be kind of cool to have a Funko or just something behind me, like a little figure that's like Veve / like Marvel related. Two, obviously it increases the chances of getting something better. I realize like worst case scenario, I just end up with like 2 commons, right? Weirdly enough, I do have a feeling like maybe the silvers will do worse, even though there's only 650 of them. They might do worse just because this one's the ugliest looking one. It just looks like he's wearing like an aluminum can as like an outfit. It's just not the best look. And it looks a little too similar than the like superior outfit, at least like the same type of silver or whatever. Yeah, I legitimately think like all the body pieces are literally identical except for... So I'm like looking at the shading on his like feet or the shadows and like his shins and arms and like hands and all that stuff, and it's pretty much identical to the silver. The only thing that's different is obviously the black underlining with like the blue. That's the only thing that looks different. So not a huge fan of the silver. I actually think this one will probably do the second worst. I think the worst one will be silver, and then people want the classic Iron Man, right? I would assume. I think the prices aren't going to be too far off. But yeah, so that, and also it's like, you know, I haven't set all this stuff up yet, but I haven't getting like written off as like part of my business or expenses and all that kind of stuff. So this Iron Man is a large version of those soda Funkos. Not getting it, as I got rid of my collection of Funko Pop. Yeah, I did read that, Jeff. So I must have missed that part, or you guys must have missed that part. But I was like, wow, dude, 800 Funkos, that's crazy. I'm not gonna collect like more Funkos after this. Like, I'll probably just collect the first and that's it. Even if Veve releases, unless literally Veve releases a like Wolverine or like X-Men like exclusive, like I would probably only, even then I would only get Wolverine, like exclusive Veve Funkos or whatever. Like if they come out with like new stuff, it's like, okay, cool, but the first is always going to be the first. So that's kind of why I'm investing in this. Like, I'm not getting this because I think other Funko collectors are going to find value in it. I'm kind of getting it because I think other Veve people will like find value in this, strangely enough. That's kind of my thing. Yeah, just get it for that, but otherwise it's probably worth nothing. That's my thing, and that's why I'm like not going to sell like the physical. Like the physical is probably not worth much, right? But the digital is worth at least something. And again, I do think like basically unless you land the top 2 rarities, like you're probably just gonna end up losing money. But Funko collectors collect the small ones. Yeah, no one wants like an 18-inch thing, but just kind of like a piece. Throw it back there. But I agree. There you are. I was like, huh, that was short. Nah, I don't know what the hell happened. It just, my internet just cut out. I might need to contact my internet provider and be like, yo, what's going on? Better for Fid's background's larger item. Yeah, I also need to like, there's just like not a lot of room, not a lot of space like in my room to do stuff. So I as much as I want to do like a big backdrop and have a bunch of cool stuff and like have the lighting be better, like it's just difficult. I'm starting to get to the point now where I might have enough comics to actually like start putting stuff up on the walls and make it look like I'm a legitimate collector, but haven't gotten to that point yet. Yeah, that's true, but I'm just being honest. If we're talking about resale, people don't generally want the big ones as much. Oh, for sure. Shipping's a pain. Like I said to Bob Sales, I'm like, bro, if you want one of these, like unopened, all that stuff you want to send to you, like you're probably going to pay more It's different because he's international, but it's like you're probably gonna pay more in shipping instead of just whatever. So not only is the shipping more expensive, it also doesn't look as clean, I guess, or like good. I don't know. That's just kind of like my take. At the end of the day, it does feel like just like a very expensive, you know, like Veve blind box, right? Just feels like a very expensive version of that, like $150 blind box. That's kind of what it feels like. I mean, you get a little physical attached, but that's kind of it. So as long as I just don't get the silver, it's not, that's all. I just don't want the silver. If I get one, I'll be like, whatever. But I'll be more stoked to have the red than the silver. Gold looks cool. If I had to rate these in order of how cool they look, kind of hard to tell with the black. Like the shading looks good or not. Aesthetically, probably like the ultra rare a bit more than the secret rare. It's kind of hard to tell. I would also have to physically look at it. So if I had to just go the wing it, it's just like ultra rare, secret rare. I think classic gold, then silver. That's probably just aesthetically. I think this will end up like the DC Direct statue. Did not end up. DC Direct statue did end up pumping up. Yeah, it's a bit different just because if we're talking like the battle statue. Like the battle statue, Killer Croc. I forgot I need to look at collectibles, not comics. I've been looking at comics so much. I just innately just click on comics. Batman versus Killer Croc. Like this one, I think this is what you're talking about, Bob Sales. But this one's a bit different, where it's like I said, it drops on Veve, it happened instantly. People can floor everything instantly. But with Funko, it's like we're talking about like you buy it. It has to ship to like your address. You get it. Do you open it? Do you hold it? Do you sell it to someone else? You claim the digital collectible and then you post it. Like it's all gonna take time. Like probably within the first like couple weeks after it drops. Obviously there'll probably be like a small influx of people. Then it might die off shortly after. I think you're all underestimating this. We'll see, right? I'm not sure. Like I definitely don't blame Funko collect. It's kind of no different than comic collectors, right? Like you're buying X-Men 1 digital versions, and like you talk to everyday comic collectors, they're like, who cares about this? You know, who cares about digital stuff? Doesn't matter. It might be no different than like the Funko people that are just like, another 18-inch thing. Like who cares? Like no one wants that. You know, this is also like the 400th Iron Man that's been released on Funko. Like who cares? I already have is like Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4, like you know, all the variations. Like who cares? That could be it. So like I said, I'm not buying this because I think I can sell to like other Funko Pop people. Mostly doing it because I do think there's going to be a lot of Veve people and people that like the physicals. They want like the first Funko, even though it looks ugly as hell. It's still the first Veve one. We will see, but I don't think Funko people will care. It's a cool statue, but Funko Gold, not Funko Pop. Exactly. So I'm sure that's David Hughes' hair. Of course it is. Worst case scenario, NFT 50 gems, worst case. And if you get higher up, who knows, pays for half the toy. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it'll be around 70 bucks. It'll be around 70 bucks shipping. I have a few people on the case. Okay, good. That's good to know. I have no idea. I haven't crunched the numbers on how much it would be. So the digital is an airdrop, and you know what happens to airdrops? No, I don't. What happens to airdrops? They like don't work, or I don't know what you mean by that. What happens to airdrops? Let me know, Jeff. I'm kind of curious what you mean by that. I'm like, is it people that claim it, or they just get dumped? I'm assuming you mean they just get dumped, and I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, they're gonna get dumped, which is why pretty much all but the ultra and secret rare will be below retail, like well below. But to me, I'm willing to pay the extra. I'm thinking back to DC Direct Toy Days, physicals. I think you mean tripled, and that was not Veve related. I think it's a really cool statue. Let me make that clear. Just don't want people to expect super crazy gains. Buy it because you think it looks nice, not to expect money. That's my take on it. I agree. I'm not going to be like, I do not expect some random Funko person, even like the biggest fans, to be like, oh, that's cool, let me buy it. It's more like my whole thought process is there's people like Bob Sales, right? Or other people out there that are like, they don't look at this as Funko. They're looking at this. They're not looking at this as a Funko Pop. They're looking at this as, all right, this is the first like Veve like partnership with Funko, or first like Fidgetal with, you know, another big IP or whatever it is, right? So that's kind of my take. Charles, what's up, dude? Charles Delago. Yo, what's up? Would you rather have a 3-digit? Would you rather have a low 3-digit mint of a common or the SR? I'd rather have the SR. I don't know if you've watched a ton of my content. There's some people out there that would love just a 3-digit SR. It depends on the comic, but I would say like 99% of the time I'd rather just get the SR. It's way easier to liquidate. It's more scarce, right? Because I believe Veve, I'm sure how many Veve withhold. I'm sure there, even then, I still think there might be slightly less or slightly more like SRs versus like 3-digit comics. That's kind of hard to say, but at the same time, like it's much easier to just floor an SR and sell it quickly if you need to, versus like a 3-digit common where people have to explicitly go out of their way to like select the common, go by lowest mint number. Now you're competing with other people with like huge price gaps, right? If you have like a 350 mint number and then someone has like 250, but they're listing theirs for much lower and you're like, God, I want more than this. You have to like wait for that one to sell off first before someone buys yours, right? Because people typically want the lowest mint number unless it's like a unique one they like personally. So if you have your 350 listed for your mint 350 listed for 100 gems and there's someone that has a mint 250, I don't think it goes that low for comics, but whatever, you guys get the point. If they have theirs listed for 80, like you're gonna have to wait for theirs to sell in order for someone to buy yours, assuming someone is looking at low mint comics and they go out of their way to do that. So for me, I definitely favor liquidity and being able to sell stuff quickly to get other things that I want. And it's not just for that, but plus you get more MCP points with the secret rare, all that other fun stuff, cool exclusive cover. When it came out, DC Direct statues pumped IRL physical form. Supposed to match the toy. When Funko first started, they didn't do Funko Pumps, Funko Pops. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'm not familiar with like the history of Funko. I don't collect Funkos. I understand the appeal of Funkos, but I just don't have any. I mean, I take that back. I do have one. I got this as a gift. I'm trying to remember who I got this from. Trying to remember who I got this from, but this is just a Flash Funko. I just took it out, just chilling here on top. I used to put them like in my I used to put them like in my computer, and here like in this little like window part. I don't know if you guys can see this. I used to just put them like right here in this little like window part of like my. Actually, she would chill right there on the inside. I thought it like looked cool because I'm like, oh, like my computer's fast, he's fast, like whatever, like it's kind of cool. He's like hanging out inside my computer. That's like a little home. But then it started to get, it just didn't, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather just have him out here and I can play with the Flash. Barry Allen. Yeah, they get dumped is what I meant. Okay, cool. I thought you meant like there's some like secret society or there's some like weird shit going on with like airdrops. Yeah, they always get dumped, right? So. The black and gold one will easily be worth 1,000, if not more, because of the scarcity, the speculation on everything else. Exactly. That's my take, Austin. I do think it really depends, but I do. It would not surprise me at all if the golden black or whatever, like the secret rare one, goes for. It wouldn't surprise me if it hits 1,000. It really depends on how many get listed and how many get bought, and that's the other thing too. Like if not the whole supply gets bought up. There could be even less. BB's first. Funko's a plus. Diamond Inc. What's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. I know we're kind of hanging out here, shooting the shit a little, talking a bit. So, yeah. If there's anything you guys want me to like check out, actually, let me look at X-Men #1. Dude, what a crazy time we live on, Veve, right? We got X-Men #1 on the app. There's a lot of I guess I should have done Uncanny X-Men. We're at the point now. X-Men #1 pushing up to 25 gems. I bought a couple at like, so I got one on the drop. I think I bought 3. I think I bought one at 23 and another one at 21. I believe I have 3 of these now. Let me check. Gosh, I always have to refresh my page anytime I switch to here. Yeah, I got 3 commons. That's it on this. Just floor mints. Nothing too fancy. I did get a common rhino. I did get a rare addicted comic. They actually gave me a card when you buy the graded ones. They gave you a card to claim a free one. One of the cards did not work. I actually forgot to mention that video, but like one of the cards. So when I bought when I bought the graded addicted comics, they give you one of these for every graded one, because the graded one costs like $90. So it's not cheap, but it's, you know, a 9.8. They also give you this alongside it. With it, they gave me 2 because I bought 2 graded ones, and one of the cards didn't work. So what I'm assuming is that because they just had it as a stack facing up on the table, and what probably happened was that there was a bunch of people online, and they were working as fast as they could, but they were probably taking anywhere between like 3 to 4 minutes per person because they were trying to get signatures, you know, load the stuff up and all that stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's someone in line that just kind of looked over, saw a card like this, and just entered the code on their Veve app and just claimed it while they were just waiting in line. So one of them didn't work. Not the biggest deal in the world, but just figured out kind of explain that. So I did get cheated out of 1 digital comic, but it's okay. I didn't realize it till I was already like gone too. I'm gonna say 400 to 500 for each pop in the future with NFT unused, and then for 1 at 50, that could be an insane price. Combine NFT and physical. Yeah, I mean the physical for that one too would be worth a ton, right? So if you manage to land the 1 at 50, and that's not what I'm hoping for. I'm not going into this expecting the 1 at 50. I'm actually going into this expecting the common, and like putting the little common classic Iron Man look. That's probably what I would enjoy, is just the classic Iron Man. Have him behind me. At that point, like if the common is going under like 50, I'd rather just keep it, right? I'd rather just hold it, have it as a little backdrop guy, and that's it. That's kind of my deal. We are definitely in a bear market. Seeing X-Men 1 that low, I don't even know if I should go for tomorrow's drop. Yeah, that's a good question. It's like, all right, would you rather buy what, 6? You could buy 6 X-Men 1s for 150, or would you rather go for the Funko drop? Mostly buying the Funko drop because I am kind of switching to more digital, or not digital, but physical stuff in general. I mean, I'm literally surrounded by comics and other random stuff that I got at New York Comic Con. But yeah. I think what's going to happen is, where's the X-Men one? Surprised it's not towards the top up here. Put in. There at the very bottom. Yeah, so what's the ultra rares doing? They're at 81. Okay, so they're pulling back a bit. Secret rares are at, there was a point where these were at like 550. Dude, these are dipping low. Uncommons are at 15 gems. Commons are at basically 20. Let's just call it 25, right? 25 flat. These are going for 25. So either that is going to slip up, or let's see this. What Tales of Suspense. That, or we're going to have like things like Iron Man start playing. Now Iron Man's been in the market for a while, so either like Iron Man's gonna go down, same thing with Hulk and Giant Size X-Men, and kind of like match X-Men #1, or X-Men #1's gonna go up eventually, more than likely probably after the 1 month delist, and there's like very, very thin floors, people forget to relist. That's when the price might start going significantly up. Who knows? But you know, it's like you look at the ultra rare, 150 gems or 160 gems. If we look at Hulk, and these are pretty much all at the same level. Me personally, probably because I'm a little biased, I would argue X-Men #1 is a little bit ahead of these, because X-Men #1, X-Men's the future of Marvel, both for like the MCU. X-Men #1 also has like 7 or 8 FAs in it. Not that that's the only determining factor, right? But X-Men, or not X-Men, but Hulk #1, ultra rare is 125 gems. Commons are going for 30 right now. And then which one's Thor? Tales of Suspense. It's Journey into Mystery. Journey. If I could spell it right. Journey into Mystery 83. Gem 83. This one's at 125, basically 140 gems for the ultra rare. And the commons are going for 34. And then last but not least is Giant Size X-Men. These are kind of all the closest comparables comic wise. Giant Size X-Men is going to be a little bit lower, but it is being carried by the fact that it's 7,500 mints. So 30 gems on this. The common, ultra rare. If it'll load. Going for 150. So it's like if you look at the ultra rares, the cheapest ultra rare we saw was Hulk. No, Hulk, yeah. Going for 130, 140. The most expensive ultra rare is Tales of Suspense, going for like 160, 170. And we have like X-Men #1 going for like 85, 80 gems, right? So could it go up 50%? Maybe. By what timeline? Who knows? I think also people are just like really strained on people are just like really strained on just gems right now, and I don't blame them. I am too. Like I could probably buy 4 more giant size and then I'm like done. I'm like literally out of gems. So but yeah, just kind of doing the comparables, and I do think so. Either like all 3 of these comics, or technically 4, are gonna kind of start creeping down because people are like, wow, X-Men's not going up, so maybe these aren't worth as much as we think they are, right? Or X-Men #1's going to start going up because people are going to start stacking or collecting these. I think it's the other one. I do think it's going to be X-Men #1's going to start creeping up. 6-month timeline, yeah. Personally, don't think that many people are going to want it, but I hope it hits that price. I'm not sure if we're talking about X-Men #1 or something else, but I'm assuming we're talking about X-Men still. I'm happy to keep what I'm buying for, but I do see that going up like the Todd DC directed. Yeah. Damn, my phone's going. Sorry for typing. No worries. Was very shocked at that comic. They need Veve versus utility, something fast. I don't think it's not like Veve versus utility is gonna like, oh my god, there's Veve versus utility, let me go ahead and throw down $1,000 on all these comics that I've been like waiting for utility on. I think it's just the market conditions are just terrible in general. I don't think it's a utility thing or like a utility thing. It's just like I just don't have a lot of gems on the app. Could I put in more? Yeah, but I'm kind of being torn between, okay, when Veve occasionally does physical exclusive stuff, I do want to take advantage of it, or at least get one. And also with Omi, I do think Omi's going to pump more than pretty much any of the collectibles or comics that we have currently. There might be a couple that like keep up with Omi or surpass it, but that's only like a small handful, right? That's just my take personally. Slavs, what's up, dude? Hulk 1, 30 gems, crazy. Yeah. Well, it's crazy that we've been saying that's crazy low for like 2 years, right? Across a lot of different collectibles. Real Property, what's up, dude? How's it going? It's going great. We're talking about New York Comic Con, the stuff I collected, all kinds of physicals, what's happening with the Funko drop, talking about Giant Size X-Men as well as mostly X-Men 1. So X-Men #1. It'll load. Yeah, so there's still, if you guys also saw like Thor, all those other comics we just went over, there's like less than 200 in the market right now. For X-Men, there's 865 in the market. There was over 1,000 the first like 4 days, not 4 days, but probably the first. It was dropped on Sunday, so the first couple days that it dropped, there was over 1,000 in the market. Then it went to 900. Now it's at mid 800. So it's gonna take some time. to do all this. Refresh this. 24.69. Nice. X-Men 1 went from $22 to $24 in the last few hours. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was good. I was so upset because I wanted to snipe some on the market. Like after the drop, I knew there would be people listing the comments like below retail, and there was actually quite a few people doing it, mostly bots, I would assume. But I just could not do it. The internet at the convention was god awful. It was so bad. I literally had to walk a full block away from the convention center to like get a signal. It was really, really bad. Plus my carrier, I think, is just really bad, so I might need to get a new like cell phone carrier. I was pretty obnoxious trying to like play the drop. Like I almost missed the drop because like right when it hit, I was like outside of the convention center or about to walk out right when the drop happened, and it said like I won, or I was like I won the drop. I clicked buy and it was like loading, and I'm like, why is this not doing it? I walked further away, even further away. Then finally it sold. I think that happened to a lot of people though. I think it just took a while for it to like take the gems. I was getting worried because it took like over a minute for it to like actually buy the comic, and I'm like, dude, if I miss this drop because I get timed out, I swear to God. But JKRB, how's the sentiment for digital collectibles in New York Comic Con, especially for non-Veve fam? It was so hard to because it's one of those things where you need to show instead of tell, right? I mean, you could talk about digital collectibles and ownership and like it looks so cool in AR, and then well, the whole reason why it's going to do great is like perpetual utility and like these big IP. Like it's so you can just talk and talk and talk, right? But if you just show them an AR collectible, their favorite superheroes or villains, and then show the comics and the Veve exclusive covers and all that stuff, and like you can get comic book collectors excited. You can get basically the non-Veve, non-comic normies to be like, oh, that's cool. I like Miles. I like, Professor X. I like Jurassic Park. I like Batman. Like when you put those collectibles next to them and you can take a picture. That's what I did actually on a few different people. Was like they were outside. The only time I could do it was outside, and I only did it a couple times, but I kind of wanted to stay inside to, look at the event and stuff. But there was a couple times where I saw people dressed up as like, what's it called? Like Spider-Gwen. Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen, or Ghost Spider, whatever. And I took a picture of them in AR with it outside. And of course it was still a bit laggy. And I showed them like, oh, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, it's called Veve. And I texted the picture to them. And then I deleted their number so they didn't feel weird that I like just had their phone number in my phone. And so I told them, I'm like, yeah, check it out. It's cool. They're like, oh, that's really cool. And yeah, I'll check it out. And we talked a little bit about it. There was only like one comic guy that was kind of like kind of digging the idea. But when at the convention, you can't show them anything. Like there's no internet, nothing loads. So I can't pull up in the app and be like, yeah, this is what I collect. These are the cool things. Probably what I should have done in hindsight was, at least for like the comics, maybe take like screenshots of my phone and show them the screenshots. But you just can't match like showing them through the app, swiping through things, clicking on a tab, showing them live, downloading the comic. Like it's hard to explain without showing. Like you have to show, not tell. So overall, it wasn't like unheard of. There's a lot of people at the Veve booth. It was just strange because Veve could not talk about anything non-Marvel related. Like there was a speech that I think it was during the Funko thing. Either that or they were just generically talking about Veve, and Alex G was on stage and they're like, yeah, tell us a little bit about Veve. They're like, well, it's a digital collecting platform, blah blah. Like we have Marvel and more. Like they could not say anything else. So it's like, I feel like in a lot of ways, like Veve, it's a golden handcuff situation. Like they have Marvel, absolute juggernaut in the industry of collecting and all that stuff, but like they were hamstrung in the sense of like they couldn't talk about anything else. Like in my mind, and like the only two things they had outside was a Spider-Man Marvel Mighty and a Jane Foster like Marvel Mighty, like just outside, which looked cool, don't get me wrong, but like you couldn't do any AR photos with them. There were some people at the booth like doing AR photos, but for me it's like it would be awesome if Veve had their own booth, and I'm sure it costs a shit ton of money, so don't get me wrong, but have their own booth at Comic-Con or these events, right? Like if you remember DCon, like they had a booth there and they had like, it was mostly focused on independent artists because that's what DCon is about. But if Veve had their own booth at Comic-Con, like imagine they had like Todd Batman, Spider-Man, DeLorean, Jurassic Park, like the T-Rex, They also had like RoboCop, like all this stuff, and people were like, "Whoa, what's this?" Like, okay, I don't like Spider-Man, but dude, that Batman, that looks sick. Or like, I don't care about that, but like DeLorean, you know, I'm an '80s kid, so like, let me go check that out, right? So it's like, it seemed like it could only appeal to Marvel people, and that was it. There was a lot of people that like anime and DC and some other stuff. Like, you know, we couldn't put Astro Boy up there. We couldn't put anything up there. And don't get me wrong, that's probably because in order for Veve to do any of that, they're like, they have to talk to all, you know, 118 licensors that they have about like, hey, can we present your IP or this character this way at the event? Can we do this? Can we do that? Like, they have to get approval for probably everything before they just kind of willy-nilly throw out IPs or pictures and stuff, right? So that's why they kind of rely on us to do it, because they can't do it. They can't just put out shit out there for people to see. Like, we're the one, like, they're kind of relying on the Veve community to be like, hey, you see this thing next to this Marvel thing? I'm gonna put a DC thing and a DeLorean and this anime, and that, like, that we can do it. They can't. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the general feel, and it felt like it was more about the physical stuff. Like, a lot of people were at the Veve booth for the Superior Spider-Man comics, David Yu signatures on those comics or other things that they wanted David Yu to sign. And there was like some people there for Veve. And again, it was hard because you couldn't show them anything because the internet was terrible. So it was a little bit weird that like Veve could only talk about Marvel. Most of the people there at the booth were talking about the physical comics. Mostly the Superior Spider-Man, right? And some people were coming over with the Addicted comic, having David Yu sign those. So like David Yu spent like a lot of his time just like signing stuff. I'm sure he did other things as well, but yeah, it was an interesting time. That's kind of like my only thing where it's like, it would have been nice if they did more to present the digital aspect. Like they had like one TV screen, like kind of showing some of the drops, but like it wasn't on the main stage on like Marvel. Like, hey, like we're dropping Magneto, we're dropping Professor Xavier, we're dropping X-Men 1. Like they weren't showing it on the main stage. It was just kind of like off to the side. So Smurf Dabs, what's up, dude? Sub Vibes, are you going for the Dunk RTFKT or Dot Swoosh Air Force Tina J? I am not. I probably should, but like I'm honestly just getting tired of trying to keep up with like 7 different platforms. There was at one point I was like on 6 or 7 different like NFT platforms, right? There was like Veve, HRO, I tried to get in like a kid called Beast, also Palm DC. Trying to remember like the other ones that I was in. Obviously Elmon X, I tried that. Like most of those other ones, like I tried for the first drop, and of course there was errors and glitches, so I just skipped it. And then I tried again on the second one, still didn't work, and I was like, you know what, just screw it, I'm done with it. And nothing against those other platforms. Like I definitely I'm not a sneakerhead like at all in any shape of the word. So anytime there's like shoe stuff, I'm not against it. I understand the appeal of it, but it's just, I just feel like I don't want to spread too much of my time and attention across like a ton of different platforms and a ton of different things where, in my honest opinion, I think they'll all do good. But in my opinion, I think like Veve and all that stuff is going to do the best long term. Now, don't get me wrong. There could be some things like, you know, the Swoosh Air Force, you know, is it Tina J or Tinaj? I don't freaking know. I think it's like Tinaj. I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm sure that could do better than like most Veve NFTs. Maybe not all of them, but most. Like, who knows? Like, I don't know. But it's like I'd rather just stick to kind of what I know. But once Bitcoin breaks 32K, I bet interest in digital collectibles will come back to life. We'll see. I think it's more than just that. And it's not just all digital collectibles, right? Like if the Veveverse gets announced and something happens there, it's not like DC Palm collectibles are going to start pumping, or like HRO, or like the Todd McFarlane. That was another like program, but another platform I was on was like the Todd McFarlane one. I was like, there was a point where it's like I was just spread just too thin across too many different communities, too many different platforms, and I just got annoying, like constantly keeping my face glued to Twitter for our announcements and secret airdrops and this waitlist thing, and you know, sign up for that. And I was just like, all right, I'm done. I also just don't have a ton of time at work to like just kind of have my, just like to kind of spread my attention that much. Diamond Ink says, how do you feel about, I don't know, 4 Chili Peppers? I think it should be an NFT. I think Veve should do more physical merch, hats, shirts, backpacks, gun holsters. I don't know why I said that, but just like rather random stuff, beer koozies, right? I don't know, other just like random stuff. So like I do think there should be like more Veve memorabilia. So including like just like if there's this Veve shirt that just said 4 Chili Peppers, I think that'd be hilarious. And then I think with just like digital stuff, I kind of hope Veve does more like Veve IP branded stuff outside of just logo, because I think we have what, like 7 logos now, maybe 6. So I'm kind of over logos. It's like, or let's do something else besides Veve logos. But maybe do like I guess it's still technically a logo, but doing like the Veve like heart, still a logo. Yeah, I don't know. So well, Veve does a Hot Wheels collab. I would buy that in a second. Even more if they kept the IRL redeemables, Series 2 redeemables, cars sitting around 900 to 1,000. Sold recently on eBay. Nice. Series 2 redeemable car. So is this the physicals? Is there like a physical and digital aspect of those, like fidgetals? Series 2 redeemable car. So redeemable car sounds like you could still get the digital with the physical. So Veve should have installed a Starlink. Veve should have installed a Starlink there to get better internet. I know what they told me was like they do actually have like a Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is, but they do have like a Wi-Fi thing that costs like 2 or 3 grand. I think they set it up there and it still wasn't doing great. So I think they talked to basically the convention people. They're like, yeah, like can we get the Wi-Fi? Or like what's that cost? And I believe that they said it was going to cost like $18,000 that like use like the convention Wi-Fi or be able to piggyback off of it or whatever. I don't know. I didn't dig too much into it. I wasn't like, really, how much and why is that and what kind of Wi-Fi do you have? I was just like, oh, that's crazy. So I talked to some of the people like working the booth there, and that's kind of what they said. So it's like 18 grand for you know, for 4 days, or probably even less than that. And it was just the internet was just like terrible overall. So I'm not sure what Veve used or what they have or what they could have used, but go buy the UR Invisible Woman for $5 under floor. Really? Is that what it's at right now? Invisible Woman. Ultra rare, this one. 15 gems. Is that yours, Jared? Souza? Don't really care for it. Well, it's there. If anyone wants to buy it, it's there. I mean, it is technically well below floor. So if anyone wants it, go get it. Yeah, I'm the same. Veve and DC Palm, that's it. Also on Virtua, but can't wait to get out of that one. Yeah. I'm even like, I don't even know if I should bring this up, but even now I'm kind of actually I need to catch up with chat. I'm starting to get behind, I just noticed, so I'm gonna double time it. Yeah, well, if I remember what I'm gonna talk about later, I'll talk about it. So Tito 420 FA Spider-Man digital collectible under retail. I call this the bottom. 10/17/23. Take a screenshot. I will definitely take a screenshot. What's up, Dino? Last stream rugged. Here we are. Yes, sir. What do you think about the Batcal exclusive merch? I don't know. I might buy something. Unlikely, unless I see something like really, really, really awesome and really unique. I'll likely just skip it. To be honest, I'll just mention very briefly. I'm kind of cashing out of. I'm not cashing out of Batcals. What I'm trying to do is I did sell quite a few of the things on Palm DC. I do want to sell my cowl, but I want to buy another one. So I actually have a pretty nice cowl. I want to sell it, buy a cheap one. So I'm still like in the community. I still want to get early access to the good drops, get all the airdrops and the utility that comes with owning a bat cowl. I just don't need a bat cowl that has like a unique like infrared visor and it's like purple and black and all that stuff. It looks really cool. And I have had someone offer me like $1,500 for it in the past, but I just didn't take it because it was the bull run. But yeah. Hello, Master Veve Vibes. What's up, Jimbo Lee Lingo? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Still double timing it. Veve is like a Juul vape. E-cigarettes, we're going up, then down. Yeah. I don't vape. I don't smoke cigarettes. Nothing against it. Never had like the appeal to do it. Yep, 100%. Yes, sir. Veve needs a mascot character. That would be nice. Would it just be a bull and a bear like fighting all the time, like a Veve, like a blue bear and a white bull just going at it, like the two colors? I don't know. Veve needs a mascot. Yeah, something. Branded 4 chili peppers would be cool. I think it would be kind of funny to I think it'd be kind of funny to have to like make a shirt with 4 chili peppers on it. I don't know, I think it'd be kind of funny. Yeah, physical is worth 1,000. Physical is worth 1,000. Oh, like the physical toy for the Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, pretty cool idea. I do like Hot Wheels. Actually, I think they look cool. I never collected them. I did play with them like as a kid, but I wouldn't know what to do. I would refer to someone like Austin or something like that. Like if Veve came out with Hot Wheels and like, oh, here's the rare, the ultra rare, here's the comment. I'm like, I don't know what's expensive. I don't know what's good. I could probably do a Google search, but I would rather have someone that's like actually in the community, right? Evolve collects. Ayo, I made it. What's up, Evolve? Thanks for stopping by. Diecast collectors will pay thousands for a limited run brand name cars. Nice. That is nuts. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of diehard collectors in different spaces, right? I mean, you can even argue like, well, Veve, there's Miles Morales going for $10,000. You're like, whoa, like there's definitely niche collectors in every like community that just like blow the, you know, an insane amount of money, right, for what it is. But that's really cool. Diecast collectors will pay thousands for a limited run brand name cars. Yeah. How you doing, Vibes? How's the chat? Yeah, we're just hanging out, talking about all kinds of stuff. I don't know, we're chilling. That's what we're doing. Yep, Diecast can even sell broken for spares on eBay. Nice. Not mine. I was thinking and out of it. I don't know. Sorry if I didn't read that correctly. I got wrecked on that Daisy and Donald golden moment. We all did, dude. You want to see mine? Do I still have mine? Or did I sell it? I think I still have mine. Let's see if you have me beat. Pretty sure I still have. There it is. I've shown this off a few times. 1,900 gems. Is that how much you spent on it? I don't know if you guys can see that, but 1,900 gems. Is that how much you spent on that diamond? Or is it more? Maybe a little bit more. Since you're talking about market, willing to check my latest tweet and give me your thoughts and feedback? Yeah, let me see here. Is that your Twitter handle? Oh, there it is. I got a bit of a cough. Let's see. Then Floor Tuesday. Let's check it out. And let's actually zoom in so we can see what the hell's going on. What's up with this like spooky? I feel like this is like a spooky. Oh, it is. That's why. It's like I'm like, what is this like spooky Halloween stuff? Thin Floor Tuesday collectibles. The Aston Martin DP5 comes back on the market. Last sale 15,000. Previous sale was July 3rd. Previous sale was July 3rd. Damn, that doesn't sell very often. Wolverine 66R. Wolverine number 66 SR moves up to the top 3 of the market. Last sold for 33. Definitely market movement going on in Veve, and that's why only 20k-ish active wallets. Base this off the last. I need to start doing that. I need to start like actually looking at active wallets. I do think that is something that people do take into consideration when it comes to like buying or selling things. I just have to at least like take the time to like research like what website actually offers that information. I'm sure if I dig in either like Veve Foxes or your content, I could probably find it. Might be nearly nothing on the market. If that's what it is, the values of double the price is now less than 80. Listings on everything collectibles wise for listings, probably less than comics. GTO 3 poster, which still hasn't been delivered or whatnot. Comics. ASM 252 SR, that will most likely always be number 1 in the least amount listed. Not saying anyone should buy anything due to the floors being thin, just reporting them as the thinnest floors on Veve, since I find it entertaining. If you'd make it this far, I appreciate your attention. Feel free to provide feedback. If you haven't already, follow for more content like this. Retweets and appreciated. Yeah, it's pretty cool, dude. It's it's just hard because like obviously with the market that we're in, like there's thin floors everywhere. Especially anything that's older than like a few months. So it's pretty cool though. It's cool, like it's interesting info. Like it's just hard to like, I mean, I'm not sure how many people are buying like the NTTD like movie tickets or anything like that. Or like niche like Ashton Martin stuff. Like it's cool. It's just hard because like the thinnest floors are always going to be the most expensive or like most limited things. So it's like, all right, unless we're actually going to be buying these things, it's kind of hard to want to do it. So, but no, it's cool. I think you can do that on my NFT tracker. You can actually list things by, what's it called? The remaining store amount, market listings. Look at collectibles. Is this right? Yeah, so you can see here. Yeah, the NTT, the like movie ticket, No Time to Die, Italy. There's like 3 of these for interesting. And like it's a lot of posters, probably just because there's just not a lot of activity on there in general for these. And let's look at comics. This is always going to be messed up because they were airdropped, not airdropped, but like secretly dropped during the convention. So like I don't know why it always shows Lethal Protector and Avengers 52 as 0 listings. And of course, yeah, these will always be the lowest. I guess technically Heart is the mascot. Yeah, Heart is the mascot. My top 3 NFT projects. What's up, Charles? Are Veve, Elmon X, and Palm. I also do have stuff on Atro and FIFA Plus 2. Too much to keep up with. That's my thing. I found myself like getting really overextended, like not overextended financially, but it's just like, all right, I'm spending my money in too many different places. Part of me is like, all right, if I'm going to spend, you know, $500 a month on just like random projects, it's like, all right, am I better off putting all 500 into one or spreading like 100, you know, whatever. Another one I backed out of was like the whole Warner Brothers thing. That whole thing was, I don't know, it was too slow for me. There wasn't enough at getting announced. I didn't really see a future in basically digital extended version director cuts of like just, I mean, there's DVDs, right, or videos. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I didn't see a lot of value in that personally. You know, it was just too much to keep up with, and I'm just kind of I'm not completely cashing out of Palm DC, but I'm liquidating some things like I am up on. Like I'm up overall on DC Palm, so I'm just like, all right, if I'm up a lot, Omi's very cheap. A lot of stuff on Vivi's very cheap. I don't mind doing, and plus the cash out's super cheap, right? It's like $25 to cash out instead of like 10% on Vivi, so it's like, all right, it's cheap to cash out, so I'll do it. But yeah, I haven't done it yet. Still got a few more things to sell, but. Legit got so lucky on the latest Hot Wheels drop. Odds were less than 1% to get the rarest. I got one, the pack, and opened the rarest. Some people spend $800 and got nothing. That's insane. Yeah, that's kind of the way to do it. That's kind of where I'm at now. Whoops, sorry for that one away. That's kind of where I'm at now, which is just like I'm playing drops, and if I get the best thing, awesome. I'm flipping it. That's exactly what I did with the propaganda, or propaganda like comic. I got like a 3-digit ultra rare. Sold it for like 88 or something like that, or I'm trying to remember the price, but sold it right away. And yeah, so it's like I helped someone get what they wanted, which is a low like 3-digit mint ultra rare, that comic. I do like that ultra rare comic. I do like the both covers actually, but I might have to get those later. Vibes, I hit the SR on the drop. No cap. I did hear that from Aaron. That's a killer tax loss on DD NFT. Yeah, that's yeah, SR on drop. That's what I heard. Only the biggest collectors, I heard. Only the biggest fans of X-Men get what they want, right? I'm just not a big enough fan as you are. Clearly you like X-Men more than me. But congrats. Did you end up just flipping it, or do you still have it? Want to sell it to me for 5 gems? Diamond Ink. 1,989 gems. I beat you. Yeah, I'm finally winning. Things are looking up. What do you mean? Did you sell something for a lot? You're Donald and Daisy. That's how much you bought it for. All right, you got me by 89 gems. Congrats. Oh, your buy price? Yeah. Nice, nice. I feel lame now. What do you mean? You shouldn't feel lame. I don't know what you're feeling lame about. About Goofy at 4K. Rip. J Kill, what's up, dude? Yo, nice meeting you in New York. New York. It was a lot of fun. First time ever being in New York. And then on top of that, you know, obviously meeting your significant other was super cool. I didn't know she was recording. I thought she was taking a picture. So that's why I look so goofy in that video where I'm like this, like looking at the camera. I thought she was taking a picture. I had no idea she was taking a video. So, yeah, that's why I look kind of goofy, because I thought you were doing a picture. But no, it was super cool meeting you. And it's kind of funny, like, you know, no, I don't know what you look. I know what you look like now because you put it up on X, but like, no offense to the people that kind of came up to me, said hi, introduced themselves, but like a lot of the time it's like I met so many people, and like I get a lot of the usernames mixed up, or like what they look like and all that stuff. So nothing against them. There's a handful of people I am like very familiar with now. So J Kill, you're one of those, and then same thing. Cool Mo, I met him, super cool guy. Met Cool Mo. 20k monthly active users and 600k wallets in a bear market is pretty significant. I agree, even though I do think probably at least half those wallets are bots. So actually, considering like how big Veve is and all that stuff, probably probably 500k of those are bots, and then the other 80 are just like sleeping accounts where people are just like, I actually even have like 2 or 3 friends that are like, we're on Veve, we're kind of playing drops. Now they just don't play them anymore because it's just like, market's down, I have other shit to do. I don't really care about this whole NFT thing. So, and their wallets have like anywhere between like 3 to 5 NFTs, and that's it, or collectibles. You know, you hit big drop. You hit big drops. Oh, did I accidentally delete it? Sorry, Slabs. I didn't mean to delete your thing or whatever. I'm just kind of go through the chat. Yeah, dude, Dino always gets the big ones. Made some good moves on Veve. Let's go. Yeah, those low editions are tough to decipher. Not much movement on those alone. It's hard just because a lot of the time, as you saw, like they're all extremely expensive. So it's one of those things where like if a single one gets delisted, or if someone buys one, obviously the floors get super thin, super quick. But wish it was like it. Yeah. Wall of clicks. Appreciate you, Vibes. Of course. Make that money. Yes, sir. Overall, I notice change on what's thin every week when I check. Yeah. I would trying to think like how else you could organize it, because ideally you're trying to find, maybe if you could like keep it under, maybe if you did something like this. Here, let me see. So thin floors, but try and find like price ranges. So like if you did thin floors between like particular buy ranges, be like, hey, by the way, the things with the thinnest floors between like 1 to, you can even do like just 5 different ones, right? 1 to 5 gems. Uncommon, Uncanny, X-Men 142. That one's going for 4 gems. There's 6 on the market. And then this, and then you can do, I don't know, from 6 to 10 gems. I don't know how, I mean, the ranges can be whatever you want, right? Of course, these stupid things are always going to be there, but yeah, you can look at these rares. That could be helpful, because like if you just do the thinnest floors, it's always going to be the absurdly expensive or the very like things that people just hardly ever think about or list. But if you do certain price ranges, that could be helpful. Into 20. Yeah, three of these lonesome ghosts. New Avengers 4. There's 4 of those. Scrooge McDuck. You can do something like that. Cash out of Palm Vibes. They want to steal my wife's money with blocked account. Not safe. Veve is better than them. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh like, okay, your like money's locked up or whatever. But yeah, I mean, we've talked about this already. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why. But also part of it is just like, it's just hard to forecast like where do I see DC Palm being in like 2 years, right? Or even like in 6 months. Like I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. It sounds like they're going to start doing digital stuff, I believe, or maybe that's on Todd McFarlane. But I don't want to dig too much into it, but I do need to keep up with this. Cool thing about that drop too is that they burned everything unsold after 12 hours, so there's only around 600 of those redeemable cars now. Nice. That's something Veve needs to do. It's just the burn mechanic like much sooner. Let's see here. I floored it less than a minute, barely. Like, bro, it was in my account for such a short period of time. I didn't even have time to read the title. Uncanny X-Men #1. Like, I didn't even have time to read it. I just floored it. Someone bought it. Someone else got the bag now. Do you know what mint number it was? Like, was it a good mint number, or was it just random? Was it like a 3-digit or like something kind of crazy? Oh yeah, I was near a Comic-Con. Yeah, it was fun but expensive. A lot of cool people there. Met a lot of a lot of the Veve fam. The parties were crazy. I'm sure you guys saw on X. There was a lot of just parties and crazy stuff going on. Thursday was nuts. Like the Veve logo party was pretty crazy. It was like a legit like club. There's like aerial dancers and plays going on and loud music and an absurd amount of drinking. I spent way too much on drinks for myself and like other people, just because I was excited to see people, and I was like, yeah, let's enjoy ourselves. Friday was a bit more chill. Sanjay's party was more of like a kickback. There's still drinks and stuff, but definitely more low key. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? Do anything Saturday? I don't think I did anything Saturday. Yeah, I think I actually just chilled out. I was so exhausted, and like my sleep schedule was just absolutely messed up because of the travel. And when you spend like up 2 nights back to back, staying at like Thursday night, I was up till 3 a.m. And then Saturday night, I think I was up till 2. Didn't get a ton of sleep on the flight over. Also ate a ton of like unhealthy food, had a lot to drink. So I was like, all right, I'm just kind of done. I could have gone out Saturday night, but I decided not to. But next drop is their first limited redeemable Lambo. My bets are they're probably worth more than Veve's. It wouldn't surprise me, right? Especially since what you're talking about is I don't know if that community's a bit bigger, or maybe they're just a bit more like diehard. I'm not sure. That's the other thing too. It's kind of hard with Veve because yeah, there's a lot of people on Veve, but the liquidity is spread out amongst literally tenth of thousands of collectibles. If we're not including the comics, we're only talking like thousands of collectibles. So it's like we have liquidity spread out across all the. If Veve had like, I don't think it would be as big as it is if it had like half the amount of IPs. But like, imagine if like we only had like a very limited. We only had like the biggest ones, like Todd, Miles. Let's just say like we got rid of a lot of the independent artists, all the low tier stuff, and like all that liquidity got like moved around, or people bought other things instead, like Grail Comics or whatever. Those would obviously be much higher price. So that's kind of like the catch-22 with Veve is like. Prices are low now because there's not like people are just tired of putting money in, and it's like drop after drop after drop. X-Men, Professor Xavier and like Magneto like did terribly because it's like I don't like me personally I'm tired of putting money in, so I'm not sure how much more I can afford to put in, and at this point like I'd rather put it in Omi, to be quite frank. So sir, some of your Discord call thing, OBS man, I'll come say hi if you want company. I'm actually heading off here pretty soon. So nothing against you, but like it is a nightmare trying to work my OBS with Discord or whatever. So I might switch to just doing stuff on StreamYard just because it's so easy to get guests on, but we'll see. Most of the time I kind of think ahead of time, like, all right, I usually send out invites to let people know, or if I just keep it open. But yeah, when I use OBS, it's just like I have to make a new source, add it, crop it, make sure the sound works. Like it's so many different things. Good point on price ranges rather than lowest listed. Thanks. Yeah, price ranges are good, or if you just do IPs, right? Hey, like this is the I don't know how you would do it. I guess if you did Disney, would that work? Let's do collectibles. I think it works if you just type in Disney in here. I don't know if this is showing. It might show all of the Disney stuff. I mean, anything with the name Disney in the description. Yeah, it says licensed Disney. So yeah, I mean, that could work. So you're like, hey, these are the thinnest floors for all the Disney collectibles. Dumbo, this poster and this poster. And then if you did, will DC work? Oh yeah, DC would work. These are the thinnest floors for DC. So you can go by IP or like price range. A few different ideas. Wish I had more time to do videos. Miss it? Yeah, dude. Even now I'm kind of crunched for time. I feel like a lot of time by the time I get home, it's 5:30. I try to stay healthy and get a workout in. So that takes up about like an hour. Then I do like a stream. And this is like, I'm doing all this stuff back to back, right? I'm not taking any time to do other things or like hang out with my roommate or with friends or anything like that, or just kind of like unwind. That's part of the reason why it's like, I wish I could stream more often, or like my job just does not allow me to like, I might be able to like do an occasional tweet, but like I can't do a video. I can't do really any content while I'm like at work. So I'm kind of like tied up with that stuff for like 9.5 hours a day. Could have been met one and I wouldn't have known. No, I'm playing. It was a random number. Yeah, odds are. I actually did talk to the person that has the mint number 1963 comic. Actually, we can just find it here. I actually added this guy on Twitter just to kind of get his opinion. But yeah, he got the 1963. Whoop, not giant size. I wanted to do. I'll just do X-Men one. It's got the 1963 it's a common too, so it's like the classic cover, which is crazy. Edition, low to high. Let's just do edition, I guess. Not ideal, but so many listings. Right now he has it listed for 5,000 gems, so 5,000 flat. This guy has his name is just Ben 1963 comic. For X-Men #1. I added him. I was like, hey, how much you looking for? And then I didn't check. I don't know why I didn't check, but then I saw his listing. Initially he was trying to sell for like 7K. And I'm like, yeah, that's just way too high, man. Like, good luck selling it. I'm sure he's getting contacted by people for offers, but with 5K, that's a bit high for me. Wild Nights, glad it was at least enjoyable. No sleep and eating meant don't mix. You don't look dead though. No, I'm fine now. It just sucked because like when I was flying back here, I landed at like 1 a.m. My flight actually got delayed a bit, and then yeah, just the last couple of days I've been trying to like catch up on sleep and all that stuff, but it's not too bad. Unrelated to NFTs, but is anybody buying the new Mario or Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 this Friday? I know my roommate really wants to get Spider-Man 2. He's also going to buy the not Xbox, but the PS5 Slim. I think they like just announced that. And I think right now he has a PS4 or PS3. I don't know which one. And he wants to buy the Slim almost just to play Spider-Man 2. Plus there's a couple other games he wants to play on there. So at least, I mean, when he buys it, I'll probably play it a bit. But no, unfortunately, I'm a big gamer. I mostly play PC games. So I don't play a console that much. The only time I play console nowadays is like if I'm visiting like my friends or like family's places and they have consoles there. But other than that, like I'm not a big, not that I'm against it, but it's just like I have a nice PC and I might as well just use it. And most of the games that I want to play on PC or like on console or on PC anyway. So it's like, I don't know. I just never saw the reason to buy a console. So bro, you chilling. I'm just flooring NFTs. Let's go. Just flooring stuffs. Let's go. Specific IPs would work pretty well for sure. Sheesh. You making my brain pop now. No worries, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Just hanging out. I'm just trying to make it like, you know, so I read all that stuff. It's like, it's like good information, but it's nothing I can like take action on, right? It's nothing I can really make use of. Like, it's interesting to know, but it's like, I feel like it's going to be that same info like every week. But yeah, if you do IPs or price ranges or, you know, whatever it is, this is for common comics, uncommon, whatever. You could break it down that way. So, I mean, there's a lot of ideas. Just use the filters on that my NFT tracker. Busan, what's up, dude? Nice for you to stop by. It's been a while. Ben 10, let's go. Mario for PS5? No, not Mario. Just Miles. Not Miles, but Spider-Man 2. Kind of like what Austin said. Mario, obviously, for whatever the console is. I don't know. I've never, I don't say I've never owned a Nintendo console. The only one I owned was GameCube for like, I bought it, and I mostly bought it just so I could play Super Smash and some other games. I don't know if I returned it, or I just like gave it to my brother after like left for college or something like that. I don't remember what I did after that, but like I didn't really get that. So Austin, about to get that golden frying pan on TF2 vibes. I would love to. I actually used to play a lot of Man vs. Machine. I think right now I have like 50 plus tours. I have friends that have like over like 500 tours of like Man vs. Machine. At least I've played with people with over 1,000 tours. And tours are, if you guys didn't know, you play 4 different maps, and each time you beat one, you kind of, after you beat all 4 maps, you complete one tour. But each time you play a map, you have to pay a ticket, which is $1. So basically it's $4 for a tour. And so when you have people that have played over 1,000 tours, they've already spent over $4,000, right? And each time you finish a tour, you get a random digital item. You can mark it on Steam or whatever, or in real life, but that's kind of obviously frowned upon, but it is what it is. People do that all the time. That's kind of where I got a lot of like my trading experiences, through TF2 unusual hat trading. I came out pretty well. I'm not sure, it was so long ago, but I do remember putting in like a few $100 and end up leaving with like over like $1,500 or like $2,000 over the course of like a year or two. And this is back when I was younger, right? So like just out of college, and I had like a job, and my friend like got me into it, and so me and him would talk about it all the time, and we'd go to trade servers and try and trade, and you know, we would go to different websites where people were offering this and doing that, and there was even gambling servers as well as gambling websites where you could gamble your hats and your stuff away. It was like the Wild West back then. I do think if there's some gambling stuff on Veve, it would be absurd. It would do extremely well. I would love to set up something like that, but it would probably be frowned upon, get my account banned, and be illegal in probably a dozen countries. So probably not. But MVM's most difficult modes were only possible in voice chat. I swear the game is super strategic replacement. I've gotten so good at it. I play with a friend, and then they have friends too. But like we've gotten so good at the point we've like memorized everything and the spawns and like what the best upgrades and stuff are to do. We just like we can kind of just troll around. Like we can, because there's like 6 people to a group. We could probably have 3 or 4 people just use troll classes, typically as long as you have like a really good demoman or soldier. You don't even need a medic. There's even times we played with like no medic. As long as some people have like heal on kill or whatever it is, like you're usually fine. But I usually played like engineer or heavy, some demoman, some soldier. I'm trying to think like what else I'd play. Scout to kind of collect the monies, all that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where I got a lot of like my trading kind of quote experience, and I kind of do take that into consideration when I'm doing some stuff. But speaking of PS5, anyone try Lords of the Fallen yet? Just got it delivered today. It's another Souls-like game, Dark Souls style game. Never played a Souls game. Not that I'm against it. I definitely see the appeal for it. Of just getting so mad and so frustrated with a game that you would rather, I don't know, makes you just want to like throw up in a forest. I don't know, like it does not sound like watching it is appealing. Like there's certain games that are fun to watch but not fun to play. That like I would imagine Souls games are probably actually fun to play but probably frustrating, right, if you're playing on like harder modes or if you're like a beginner. Or like StarCraft. I actually really like watching StarCraft, but playing StarCraft gives me like an aneurysm, which is why I mostly play like the casual like arcade modes or whatever. I don't really play any of the like hardcore like ladder. I think when I played ladder, like the highest I placed was like gold 5, like low gold, which means like, I don't know, you have like the mental creative ability of a second grader. I don't know. I never really, I actually like the game. I like playing normally. Me and my friends would play together. We're all terrible, so we would just like chill on our base, make massive armies, and like fight each other in the middle, just like a big brawl. But I played Scout and Medic. I need to try Souls game sometime. I do have a PS5. Yeah. Like I used to play against some like competitive people that actually like legitimately played TF2 competitively, and people that are really good at Scout are insane. So imagine trying to play a soldier or a demo man, and there's a scout that like literally never touches the ground. He'll like jump, double jump like over your head, so you're like looking over yourself, and then when he lands, he'll just jump again like over your head, and he's just shooting you the whole time. Like you just cannot hit him. Like when you play against a good scout and you're a soldier, I mean, you could rocket jump and get like a good angle, but like if he's moving around in erratic ways, like if he's really good, you should probably like never hit him. Same thing with a demo man. Demo is the same thing, but it's even harder trying to hit as like a really good scout. Also, soldiers that are really good are insane too, because they can like rocket jump like up and around corners and like fly, like literally fly across half the map in just like a couple rocket jumps and just get a good angle and like kill your medic. But yeah. Let's look at X-Men again. What's going on here? 22. Should I buy that? I'm gonna buy that. Boom! Look at that. Sniped. This is kind of what I've been doing. I'm just like slowly accumulating like low mint, not low mint, but just like underpriced, let's say, comics. Watch it go back to 21 gems tomorrow. And there's like a thick wall at 21. I'm like, oh, come on. And it's okay. If I'm going to throw 22 gems at someone, might as well be X-Men #1, right? I felt that Smarty Pants, what's that? Oh, sorry, you were talking earlier about the PS5 Dark Souls. I felt that way at first, but I got good at Dark Souls games eventually, and that is what is rewarding to play once you get good enough to conquer those difficult games. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, there's definitely something rewarding about memorizing mechanics and getting really good at a game that most people are bad at, right? That's how it is for me occasionally with like EVE Online. I used to make content on there. I still make a little bit of money on YouTube just because of just residuals and people watch old videos and stuff like that. But that's like a really hard game to like learn and master. It's probably, I think it's probably easily one of the hardest games to learn ever. As like the biggest learning curve. EVE Online, it's an MMO Starship game. It's been around actually, I think just as long, if not longer than WoW. And you have to learn over, there's like over like 200 something ships in the game. They all have different weapon types, different bonuses, upgrades, rolls. It's absurd. So, and not only that, but like learning how to fly your ship, it's all like manual. It's not like a cockpit thing where you're like, oh, you fly up. It's like you have to double click in space and like make sure you have to keep your transversal speed a certain way. So if you're fighting against a ship that uses projectiles, you want to keep your transversal up so they like miss you more often. You also understand like weapon ranges, ammo types for different ranges and fall offs, different ammo damage types. So there's like explosive, electric, thermal, and kinetic, and like different ones hit different resistances of different ships at different amounts. It's absurd, extremely rewarding once you learn it, but it's insanely hard to learn. The learning curve. So it's one of those games where it's like, all right, it's not easy to play, but it's like it's fun to master. But even then, like, I've been playing for like 5 years. Like I still haven't mastered it, but especially if we're talking like PvP. My friend and I would get tons of briefcases together as scout and soldiers. Oh, briefcases, yeah, that's always fun. Like capture the flag mode or whatever that's basically called. Spy is also fun too. If you play against a really good spy, it's actually extremely annoying to play against like a really good spy. 99% of spies are terrible. You know, and most people just play the same three. Like most like stupid kids or people that play the game always want to play like the one-hit kill classes or like the really fast ones. So like, you know, whenever you're playing TF2, like just a casual lobby, most of the time it's like everyone's like a spy, a sniper, or a scout. Not a lot of people actually play like the power classes like soldier, demo, kind of heavy, you know, medic. You know, if you have a lot of those classes that can actually like push and like hold the position on a map, like those are the classes that can do it. Same thing with engineer. But a lot of people just like play like stupid one hit kill classes. Like basically, like, unless I kill you in one hit, you kill me. So it's like most people are just too bad at it. But yeah, let's see here. Tell me. Yeah. So I'm always happy to nerd out with you guys. Maybe one of these days, like we'll talk about VV a little bit, and we'll just talk a lot about video games, like my upbringing, games that I played, games that you guys have played, games you guys enjoy playing. What's probably your guys' favorite? What's probably the one or two video games that like totally changed your outlook on video games, or you're just like, wow, this game is so amazing, I have to play it all the time, or like it totally changed. There's like 2 or 3 games I can think of that like when I played them, it just blew my mind. I'm just like, oh my god, and I was obsessive about it. You guys know that game that you all played, and when you would go to school, literally all you would think about is just that game, and the next time you could play that game, and then you would be upset whenever you go to bed, and you're like, damn, I wish I could play this game more, but I have to go to bed, and you would wake up early in the morning to like play that game before school. I wouldn't do that. That my parents, they wouldn't mind if I stayed up a bit late, but like waking up early to play the game, and they would like kind of catch me like playing it. They're like, "What are you doing up so early? Like, get out of here, go back to bed or whatever." Did you sniff out in your Comic-Con who Bezo Jimen is? I do not know who that is. Bezo Jimen? I don't know. Tomb Raider was a really good one. I did play that a lot as a kid. It's kind of gotten to the point now where obviously the game is super simple for nowadays. Obviously everything is just like on a grid. You can run around. Everything's like perfectly lined up and predictable. But I remember I used to like, I kind of got to the point now where I like not actual speed run, but I can like, I used to play a lot of Tomb Raider 2, and I can like speed run the first like 5 levels and just like skip through stuff and just like run it through all super quickly. Weirdly enough, I played Tomb Raider 2 first and then like Tomb Raider 1 later. Probably just because that's the game my brothers got at the time and they didn't realize there was like a first one. But let's see. For me, like Fallout 3 when it came out was like a key one that made me feel that way. Or when I was really good back in the day, Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 in my high school days. So okay, so a lot of shooters for smarty pants. Let's read some more of these. Vivi's #1 collectible holder has 30k plus or 30,000 plus collectibles. I don't know. I didn't meet him or anything like that. That's the kind of one thing I regret is like I didn't introduce myself to more people. There were some times where I was kind of just more interested in like making sure I met the people I already knew, and you know, we hung out and had some drinks and all that stuff. I did introduce myself to like new people, but not as much as I probably could have. So it would have been nice to like introduce myself to more people. I couldn't afford a memory card, so I didn't sleep for 2 days without turning it off to finish. Damn, Tomb Raider. Yeah, memory cards were tough back then, dude. Memory cards were not cheap back in the day. You know what's funny was I actually found, I don't know if it was somewhere online or like Reddit, but it was like a really, really old like Toys R Us ad that had like all the PS1 games, had like, oh, memory cards. Like the memory cards were not cheap. They're like $40 for like a memory card, you know? And like the game, and some of the games back then, let me look at this. Let's see here. Is this it? No. I'm gonna find this ad. But like it was very few and far between. But there were some games back then that were legitimately like $70 for a PS1 game, like $70 for a PS1 game. And usually those were like the worst games too, funnily enough. This it? No, that's not it. Oh well. I can't find it. I mean, I'll show you guys some of them. I know it's gonna be hard to see. I know this just looks like a giant mess. Yeah, something kind of like this. You guys can see that. PlayStation was 130 bucks. I feel like this is a bit older though. 1997, 1998. I remember, dude, Metal Gear Solid was a huge one. I think that is actually one of my games. Metal Gear Solid, like, that was like a movie in a game. That revolutionized the way I like storytelling, acting, character development, Easter eggs. There were so many good things about Metal Gear. Fourth wall breaking. That one just like blew my mind. There's a reason why, if you look up online, like best video, like PS1 games of all time, Metal Gear is usually like top 2, like every time. Like if we do this, best PS1 game of all time. Whoops. Let's just, I don't want to trust IGN, but let's just see what IGN says. I'm just gonna scroll all the way down to the bottom. Number 1, Metal Gear Solid. Number 2, Final Fantasy 7. Then let's look at Den of Geek. Resident Evil 2 is also another super popular one. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid is number 2. Final Fantasy 7 is number 1. Best PS1 games of our time by Games Radar. Don't care. Paul Rappa the Rapper. You guys remember him? Paul Rappa. I remember playing the demo. Number 1, Metal Gear Solid. Like, it was legitimately the game. That game blew my mind as a kid. I used to play this game called A Little Big Planet on PS3 a bunch when I was a kid, and Borderlands 2 on PS3 as well. So you were a kid when PS3 came out. Interesting, Austin. You're a little bit younger than I thought. And a bunch of kids. So Little Big Planet sounds familiar. They have Tomb Raider 2. Yeah, that was awesome. When was the Funko drop on Veve 50 gems? Straight out of bed, there wasn't a drop. It's just there as a placeholder. I do believe they said it was just a placeholder for the actual drop tomorrow. So I don't think there's an actual drop. There's, you know, it says sold out and all that stuff, but like, you know, it's just a placeholder for when people actually redeem the digital codes for the Funko or whatever. I think the Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii era was pretty good. Yeah, it was a great time. PS1, Nintendo 64, like that whole like era, and even Xbox One, or not Xbox One, but the first Xbox, that whole time was awesome. I used to love playing Star Wars Battlefront 2. That was a fantastic game. The old one, not whatever the hell the new one is, right? The old version, where you'd actually do like space battles. And you can play as you can still play as Jedi, obviously in the modern ones, but I like playing the hunt mode. I love like hunting down little Wookiees, Ewoks, Gungans, was it Tantans? No, whatever those other things were. Like I loved hunting those down. It was hilarious, just gunning down the indigenous species. It was always good. I didn't think the Spider-Man drop will do. It's super popular and way more scarce on Veve. The physical is low only because there are a ton of them available. I think it's going to do fine. I still think the common and uncommon will go below retail. I mean, it's going to do as well as maybe a little bit better than Rhino. I can't really tell. Like I don't know. I think someone like My Collectibles or some of the other comic collectors will have like a better idea, but it's kind of hard because it's like, all right, it's scarcer in digital, but it's super popular in physical. But we're in an extreme bear market, and a lot of people are already, as you saw, buying, you know, grails instead of you know, other kind of like popular but also not so super limited comics, that kind of stuff. So I think it'll do fine, but just expect obviously like the common and uncommon to be like below retail, typical standard stuff. So it's not like, I would say, I think the popularity, like I remember actually looking at this before. So most popular Marvel comics of all time. It's funny because I'll give you guys a little sneak peek because I was planning on making a video somewhat in the near future. Multiple websites have this. So this is the top 10 best-selling Marvel comics of all time. I think seeing X-Men 1 prices, any predictions are difficult. Yeah, it's tough at this point. Top 10 best-selling Marvel comics of all time. Star Wars. So we already have Spider-Man number 1. This one sold 1.3 million copies. X-Force number 2. That one sold about 1.4 million. X-Men number 2 proves the first issue wasn't a fluke. That one sold 1.8 million copies. Punisher. Spider-Man 26 featured a holographic cover. That's kind of cool. We already have Spider-Man 2099. This one sold 1.7 million copies. It says unofficial, but I don't know. I'm just going based off of this. Number 3, Lethal Protector. So this one sold 1.7 million copies. This one has 1,000 mints on Veve, but 1.7 million copies in real life. At least that's how much was sold, right? Third highest selling comic of 1992. In the seventh comic, Spawn number 1 sold 1.7 million copies. It's possible that Venom's first solo comic sold more than 2 million copies. So possibility this sold a lot. So it's kind of hard to compare like super popular in real life. So obviously there's a huge demand or popularity for it. But there's only 1,000 in Veve. So I've even kind of told myself like, all right, maybe I should buy not like a bunch of Lethal Protectors, but maybe a couple, because it's so popular where it's like, okay, it's not a grail, but it's so scarce, but so popular in real life that it's like, all right, there might be some people willing to fork up a little bit of extra money to just say they have this super popular comic digitally, right? Second one that's the most popular or most sold. So look at the jumps here in prices, not prices, but the amount sold. So this one sold basically 1.7 million copies. This one sold 5 million copies. X-Force number 1 held the record for 2 months. So this one sold 5 million copies. And then this one, X-Men number 1, not the one that we have on Veve, but this one came out in 1991, sold 8.1, basically 8.2 million copies. So it's funny how like the most sold comics of all time goes from like 2 to 5 and then jumps up to like 8.1 million copies. And this was kind of the video I was going to make talking about Veve. And actually, let me grab this other thing too. I know it's not going to make any sense, but if this will load. I'm gonna show you guys this too, because like you can't debate like, okay, there's not a big X-Men fan base. It's like there's the number 1 selling comic of all time is literally X-Men, you know, and of course there's a lot of Spider-Man and other stuff in here too, but it's like, so the number 1 comic came out, 8.1 million copies, and then we released X-Men number 2. That one was the 7th most sold comic of all time. So like basically 2 comic editions of the same thing made the top 10 list of most sold comics of all time. And then on top of that, another spreadsheet might be a little bit annoying, so bear with me. He's just like super zoom in. If we look at market cap, this is a market cap spreadsheet. I don't remember who manages this, but this is kind of like the physical physical CGC like market cap. So if they add the 9.8s, the 9.6, all the grades together, the whole market cap, how many in circulation, they add it all together. And Uncanny X-Men number 1, this one sold, I believe in 2001, $872,000. So it's like Uncanny X-Men number 1 is the 4th highest market cap that we have basically on Veve. So if we're talking about liquidity, it's there, top 4. If we're talking about popularity, it's literally number 1. The X-Men brand, or like the IP, right, is also number 1. Not more than Spider-Man, but just we're talking just raw comic sales, like it's there. So I don't think having one solo run of a comic is like, oh no, there's more X-Men fans than anyone else, but it's just like, all right, there's that massive demand or a massive popularity for X-Men that exists. It's just like, when has there been anything relevant, like any X-Men relevant stuff that's happened like last like 10 years? Hardly anything. Maybe the occasional like Wolverine or like X-Men like movie, but even then, like the ones in the last 10 years haven't been like that great, except for like Old Man Logan or whatever else. But I think the 90s X-Men comic is number one. 90s X-Men comic is number one. It is. So yeah, you're right. Like the one I just saw or showed, 1991. That's like the best-selling comic of all time. Like 8.2 like million copies, which is insane. All right. Was there anything else you guys want to talk about? I actually might end the stream here in a few minutes. So I'm just kind of curious if you guys wanted to talk about anything or whatever. Mostly just kind of want to chill and just like shoot the shit with you guys, you know. Talk about video games, talk about the Veve market, talk about Funko, talk about and we talked about a lot of different stuff today. Oh, I didn't tell you guys my two games that I would say Metal Gear Solid was huge. Mine was probably not a lot of you guys played this. I played this actually on Xbox first, and then I played it on PC later, which is Morrowind. Morrowind blew my mind. Just the world building, the customization with your character, all the spell classes, you can create your own spells, you could summon multiple creatures at the same time, the world building aspect, the looting, all the different factions that you could do, all the different quest lines. There was actually like consequences. Like in Morrowind, you can't be like head of the Thieves Guild, head of the Fighters Guild, head of the Mages Guild, head of this guild. Like you can't be the head of everything. That's kind of one thing that kind of like not necessarily like breaks the immersion, but just feels a bit weird in like Skyrim and some of the other games where it's like, I'm just going to be the leader of everything. It's like, I technically wouldn't work, but whatever. Or they just don't. In this game, actually, they also do acknowledge, like, if you are the leader of a certain guild or thing, like, other people will treat you differently, actually, instead of just the generic voice not lines that you get in, like, Skyrim and stuff. So for me, like, Morrowind was, like, just huge. If you guys have never played it, I would give it a try. Of course, the controls are a bit janky, and it uses, like, the dice roll system to actually hit. It's not like Skyrim or Oblivion, where, like, every time you swing, like, you're going to hit, assuming they're in range. But so you're gonna miss a lot if you have a low level. But GTA 5 online right now. Oh, GTA 5, yeah, it's a cool game. I don't know, I played it a bit, but I definitely understand the appeal. But it's not one of those games where it's like blown my mind. I don't know, that's just me personally. I'm trying to think of another game that's just like, whoa, that like totally every like conceivable, not thought, but just like the way I viewed video games like changed a lot. I'm just trying to think of another game that did that. Probably say Half-Life. That's another crazy one. Probably just because there's so many good mods that came out of that game. You know, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress Classic, then Team Fortress 2, then Half-Life Source, and Blue Shift, and Opposing Force, and God knows, and Gary's mod, like God knows how many other mods that came out of just like Half-Life alone. Tons of awesome stuff. That's kind of where Valve and all this stuff kind of expanded from there. But yeah, Half-Life was another huge one too, I would say. I did play a little bit of Dynasty Warriors back in the day. Gary's mod, Portal 2, Left 4 Dead, yeah, all those games, all that's all, like that game. Valve and just Half-Life revolutionized like a ton of stuff. I still like once in a great while, it sounds weird, but like once in a great while, like on a weekend, I'll just speed run Half-Life 1, just because I played it so much. I kind of know where stuff is, and the actual like aiming and movement aspect of it. Like people are much better at first person shooters now than they were 20 years ago when this game came out, right? So a lot of the difficult, quote unquote difficult parts of this game is actually like really easy. So sometimes I'll just find myself like speed running this game and completing it in like 3 hours. I'll just play it all the way through, and it's kind of fun, just the nostalgia and all the little puzzles and stuff that were like super complex for me as a kid. Now it's like super easy. So occasionally I do kind of just like run through the game on Steam super quickly. or just do a bunch of like weird like console commands and have a bunch of fun with it. So I've enjoyed that. See if I can think of one more. So a lot of you guys talk about Final Fantasy. For me, it was Legend of this game. Legend of Legaia, I believe that's what it's called. That was my version of Final Fantasy. This game was super cool because I don't know if you could see it. On the bottom row, there was like a bar, and you could do like an up, down, left, right. So up was like a high kick, low was a low kick, and then left, right was like punches. And you could like chain up, down, left, rights together to like do combos and do backflips and like special moves and all that stuff. So this part was actually like really interesting. The whole fact that you could like discover new moves, and you just did it through random stuff, right? So a lot of the time you just had to experiment doing different maneuvers, and you would just kind of like learn a new move, and then you could do that move over and over. You could also like capture creatures and use them almost kind of like Pokemon in a way, not exactly, but you would like take their powers and then you could use them in other fights and stuff like that. It was super cool. Yeah, this is like one of the moves that you could do that does like extra damage and stuff. Super cool stuff. All right, that's it for today. So cool. Hope you guys take care. Good luck on, if any of you guys are going for, I think the Funko drop's gonna be fine. I know some people are on the fence about it. I don't think there's like a rush. So I know some people are gonna be in a rush to like buy it or whatever, but in my opinion, I don't think it's gonna sell out. I could be completely wrong, but I don't think it's gonna sell out. So all the people that are like, should I buy it? I'm not sure. I don't think there's like a major rush to do it. But if you're on the fence, or maybe you want to wait and just kind of see how things play out physically on the market, not physically, but how things actually play on the VV market, that's another way to do it as well. So but cool, thanks for stopping by, guys. Let's see, is there anyone else streaming right now that we could support, or let them know that you guys are hanging out here? All right, it doesn't look like it. No one else is streaming right now. So all right, hope all you guys take care. Good luck on the rest of the week's drops. Also, let me look at one thing here. When is the next when is the Secret Wars 8 drop? Thursday. Okay, so Thursday. Well, good luck on the Thursday drop. I'll definitely stream, I think, at least one more time, or maybe on Thursday. So I won't stream tomorrow, but probably make a video. So good luck on the Secret Wars drop, and take care. Double and triple check all of your listings so you guys don't get screwed over, and I'll catch you guys next time.